Hello, my name is Simon Davey. Welcome to our world in the limelight, and this, the third of my woodland habitat talks. Previously, I have spoken on woodland in an overall way, rather a speed-through, followed by the more recent talk about the woodlands of challenged cool environments and their lichens, using Newfoundland as a specific example. And here is a picture of an utterly wonderful wood in Western Scotland. Proceeding towards the south, now let us visit the wonderful woodlands of Western Scotland. These are now known as temperate rainforest, and anyone attempting a holiday here will be extremely lucky not to be fully aware of why it is called rainforest. On the west coast of Norway, there are a few areas of woodland which are similar, and this one's at Brønnøysund, but the western Scottish rainforest is exceptionally fine. As with so many of the best woodlands, it supports a rich and exciting lichen flora. The tree species are the two species of oak, Quercus robur and Quercus petrea. The latter is less frequent. Other tree species include ash and wych elm. These have a less acid bark that can allow a rich flora of often rare lichen species. The shrub layer supports rowan and holly as well sometimes as juniper, and these are all important for lichens. The ground flora does not grow so actively as in other parts of Britain and is grazed by red deer, keeping the forest open and the light levels healthy. You can see here the lichens growing on dead, juniper surrounding a juniper bush at a wood which is called juniper wood in Abernethy. Here is a fine example of a tree from these woodlands in the National Nature Reserve of Glass Drum. Of interest is the presence of an important butterfly. This is the checkered skipper, now extinct in most, if not all, of its English sites. I well remember when I was about 20, seeing it frequently in sites in Huntingdonshire, Rutland and Cambridgeshire, but I have no idea why it suddenly disappeared from there. There are many rare and beautiful lichen species present, and here are pictures of a few of them. This one is Lobaria amplissima, and this particular example here is very interesting because, as you can see, there is a green version, which is the fungus associated with a green alga, and a black one, which is the same fungus growing with a cyanobacterium or blue-green alga. Another very important lichen in this area is Pseudocyphalaria norvegica, and you can see here the pustules on the surface, and these are its pseudocyphalae, after which it is named. Digelia atlantica, another beautiful lichen that occurs in this habitat, and Digelia plumbea, different from the previous species in that it is fertile, and you can see the lovely reddish-brown fruits on the surface. Another example of very important woodland in western Scotland is hazel coppice, usually with not too many trees, as in this example here. On the west coast of an island in western Scotland, there is hazel woodland that supports a very rich lichen flora, with some species that scarcely occur elsewhere else. These include Graphis alboscripta, with its white lyrolate fruits seen on the left. Very similar on the right, but with black fruits, is the common Graphis elegans, shown here to compare with Graphis alboscripta, and so that you realize that the white elongated objects in the center are in fact its fruits. Also present to extreme rarities that grow together. These are small and appear insignificant and are Arthothelium macunii and Arthonia cohabitans which grows with it. The larger of the fruits is the Arthrothelium macuniae. Of great importance in Scotland are the native Scots pine forests further east. A great lichenologist once said that, in his opinion, the only good Scots pine is a dead Scots pine. Living pine does support an interesting lichen flora, but it is the dead trees that remain standing, often longer than when they were alive, that are most interesting. A fine example of Scottish pine forest is that at Bognor in Inverness-shire, shown here. Pine forest in Scotland is not only rich in lichens, it also contains some interesting flowering plants, such as the orchid creeping lady's tresses, Goodyear repens. Wales also has some fine woodland, including some excellent deer parks. One of the finest is in Merionethshire, near Ganllwyd, and is Dolmallinllin Park. The trees are well spaced there, and some very good lichens were found. A particularly fine oak tree supported all 4 of the species of Liberia. Close by, a little bit higher up on a hill, lies a wood at Bet Llwyd. Here oak trees were absolutely festooned in lichens. 2 lichens shown here that were growing on this fine oak tree are Liberia amplissima, without the black growths on it, shown on the left, and Liberia pulmonaria, or common lungwort, shown on the right. Also here were fine examples of the lichen Leptogium senescens, which is a blue species. Nearby, close to the village of Ganllwyd, ancient oak woodland is found close to a river. The trees here are exceptional and not only support a rich lichen flora, but are rich in rare mosses and liverworts. Photographed on the right here was the rare moss Dicranodontium denudatum. Higher up the stream, in open woodland, stood a dead oak. On the dry dead wood I found a tiny black lichen, shown here on the right. This proved to be new to science, and the one and only species I have ever found that was new. It was given the name Xerotrema quercina. Another fine piece of woodland in Merioneth is the National Nature Reserve of Coed Cymrae. Here a rather fine caterpillar was found which imitates lichens growing on a twig rather well, I think. This is the dotted carpet moth, Alcis jubata, and as an adult is photographed in Scotland. A particularly fine example of the lichen Normandina pulchera was found here. The black dots were once thought to be a parasite, but they are indeed the fruits, and the spores found within enabled it to be properly understood. We are doing these videos linking to books that have a role to play in what we do, or the influence that they can have, and a really helpful book, now in its 7th edition, is the book Lichens, an illustrated guide to the British and Irish species, written and published by the late Frank Dobson. It began as a photography project and has turned into the go-to-the-field companion for lichenologists across the country. The 7th edition is now on a new print run and again available for purchase from the British Lichen Society and book outlets. A second very important book is the Observer's Book of Lichens, and it is astonishing how many of the really great lichenologists use this book to start their interest in lichens as teenagers. All the very, very best ones did, actually. I'm sure they did. And then once you get into lichens, a third book, a bit heavy, is The Lichen Flora of Great Britain and Ireland. This is a wonderful book. It's beautifully written, it's technical, it includes all the known species when it was first published. However, it is being republished now, in about a year's time, when all the new species since it was last written will be included. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that it has been of interest and included some things that are new to you as well. My next woodland video will be about the New Forest. But in the meantime, we have an event called Indie Author Week UK that we have been involved with for the past 3 years. Between the 10th and the 17th of June, Amanda and I will be doing some talks on our own books and describing how each one has come into print. We call this Wine and a Book because we introduce it with a glass of wine, which is nice. Previously, they have been on Facebook, but this year we're putting them here as part of our YouTube channel offering. It would be good if you could join us for these. Please like, comment and subscribe, but we do also appreciate you having watched what we have been doing. Thank you.